Predator catchers, MAGA. Where are you right now? Hmm? Where's your outrage? Where's your anger? Oh, you're right. You're not angry enough. Because now there's a new virus that just came out called the hantavirus. And I wonder, who was there to, who, like, where were y'all when y'all was talking about, oh, well, I'm a Christian, I believe in God, da 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 da, this and that. Well, guess what? We're about to enter into COVID 2.0. Ephesians 5:11, have nothing with the works of iniquity, but rather expose them. Where were y'all when the first strain of the hantavirus came out? I don't see y'all talking about it. I don't see y'all spreading awareness. I don't see y'all, spreading it to your Discord servers. I don't see y'all spreading it to your fellow neighbors. That's right. Because you don't give a damn. And that's what MAGA is. They don't give a damn about the fucking hantavirus. They rather burn this house or anything else to the fucking ground than rather preserve it. And that's why we're here as a country. 77 million people went to the crossroads and said, hey, I'm going to ask God to give me an earthly king. And look what happened. Price gases are going up. Millions upon millions of people are going to die because all of y'all couldn't even got in time to stop a cruise ship from spreading a fucking virus that was meant by rats. While we're here, people. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not fast enough to stop a virus. Yes, the fuck you are. You just don't want to do it. You're capable of stopping a virus, yet you just don't want to do it. This is the same script over and over and over. Mind you, it has been the same script since 2020. COVID. We're now in COVID 2.0 now. Ephesians 5:11. Read it. Maybe it'll give you some proper incentive sometime. I'm pissed. But at the same time, I'm not even surprised. Because why? Because I keep my faith. I'm not giving up my faith. See, what MAGA wants is they want to proclaim themselves as Christians, but they don't declare it. See, there's a difference between proclamation and declaration. Proclamation means that you're retarded and slow and want to say it out loud without even doing it. Declaration is actually doing it while saying it. Oh, I'm the, to every predator catcher out there and fucking every, preacher and all these, pastors. Oh, I'm gonna stop the hantavirus. Then why are you not doing it? Oh, I'm gonna find some way to help stop the spread. Why aren't you doing it? Oh, I'm gonna find some way to spread awareness. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Because you rather proclaim than declare. That's why we are here as a country. 77 million people would rather proclaim Trump as their king than rather declare that Jesus is king. That's why we're here. 77 million people went to the voting booth and said, fuck you, I'm voting for Trump. And he said, yeah, to rape. He said, and they said, yeah, to rape. And they said, yeah, to tax fraud. Yeah, to insurrections. Yeah, to officers dying. Yeah, to Katie Johnson getting raped. Yeah, to fucking Jean Carroll, who Donald Trump owes $8 million to. Read Ephesians 5:11. Maybe it'll give you some more incentive as to why I do this. Paul Lance exposes the darkness of Donald J. Trump. Schlepp exposes the darkness of Roblox. But I don't see none of you expose the darkness of Discord. What happened to that? I seen people talk about it, but now they're not doing it anymore. Why? Because they normalize it. And that's why we're here. Normalization of white people. Since 1619, black people have been lynched in trees, whipped by guess what demographic? White people. So all you fake predators, predator catchers out there, and for y'all fake Christians out there, don't say that you're pro-life because you're not. You proclaim that you're going to find some way to fucking stop the spread of the virus when you're not even fucking doing it at the same fucking time. That's not declaration. That's proclamation. And you voted for proclamation instead of declaration. You voted for Donald J. Trump, your version of Jesus. The Jesus I know, the Jesus I follow, is the Jesus that stands for morality and decency and declares things in the Bible. He declares because he does it while he says it. Just like that one man that was possessed by a devil. Guess what Jesus did? He went up to the man, and the devil that was speaking through him said, I know who you are. You are the Son of God. Have you come to torment us? And he declared while he said, get out of that man. And immediately they came out, and they all marveled and said, what matter of man is this, that even the demons, they obey him? Think about it. And they shame him for being Beelzebub, the king of the flies. They shame him for being Lucifer, caster of demons. Come on, bro. You can't make this shit up. It is the same script over and over. COVID-19, when none of y'all were even declaring that we're going to find a way to stop the virus. You proclaimed it as your throne. Now, it's the fucking same with the hantavirus. I'm going to find some way to stop the spread. Does it fucking do it? That is proclamation. Saying it without doing it. That's why we're here as a country. And that's why this world is going to burn when the Antichrist comes out. When he does, he's going to switch the roles around to where he will say on stage that, yes, you can be as gods. And it's the same people that voted for Trump is going to be the same people that will vote for the Antichrist. It's why we are here. And I'm not going to be here for it. See, I'm going to be gone. And y'all might not hear me ever again. I try to warn y'all, but y'all wouldn't listen. Because you would rather listen to a pastor that lies and say that you could be as gods than rather listen to an actual pastor that says, hey, we need to talk about the atrocities of this world. We need to expose it. Ephesians 5:11. What about the book of James? Oh, you believe that there is one God. Good for you. Demons also believe. But they shudder at the name Jesus. Sage doesn't drive out demons. Demons remember. They have a way of remembering. And they know how to adapt. They tell every lie. They tell every single thing to your ears and make you convinced, oh, that Jesus wasn't the good guy. And that's what the Antichrist is going to do once he comes out. He's going to make you convinced that the blood of Jesus was never important and that you having faith in him was never important to begin with. That's why we're here, people. That's why we're here. And when the rapture comes, I'm not going to be here. I'm being really honest. I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be here at all. I'm going to be with Jesus Christ because I'd rather spend eternity because of my faith, not my action. You know? Because the thing is, when you proclaim something, you say it, but you don't do it. I declare. See, I said that I'm going to spend eternity with Jesus, and I'm already doing it by talking. Like, even when people say, why are you talking to yourself? I talk with Jesus as if he's actually here with me, as if he's sitting down with me, talking with me, like having a conversation with me. I love Jesus that much that I would rather spend eternity with him than rather be focused on hell. Because why? Because what's in hell? What is in there? What is in there? What is in hell that's gotten y'all so hooked up? There's no bars. There's no baristas. There's no twerking sessions. There's no thoughts. There's no hoodlums. There's nothing but utter torment. Nothing. And if you think that the experiences that you have on earth is going to be nothing when you go to hell, you are sadly mistaken. Trust and believe me. Trust and believe me. It is way easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. And what the rich man had to do, he had to give up his worldly possessions and followed him. But he couldn't, because his heart remained in the world so much. Just like what happened with Lot and his wife. Lot and his kids were trying to escape, but Lot's wife was so in tune with the world that immediately she was turned into a pile of salt. This is why we're here, people. When you put your heart into the world more than you put your heart into Christ, it destroys you. The world destroys you. John 15:16. If the world hates you, know that it hated me first before it hated you. See, I rather declare that there's a virus. I rather declare that there's like something going on and it's getting worse and spreading awareness. Because that's what a real man of faith does. He declares and he says it while he's doing it. See, I declared that I was going to expose the darkness of the entire world. And look what's happening. I am literally doing what Ephesians 5:11 says. Have nothing with the works of iniquity, but rather expose them. And already I am declaring my exposure to all parts of the world. Every fake Christian, every Pharisee, every fake predator catcher. Even when it came to politics. Y'all said, "Oh, I'm the hero of the internet. Oh, I've been doing child predator catching for 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 40, 50, 60 years, yet couldn't catch a white officer putting a knee on George Floyd's neck." Shut the fuck up about you being a predator catcher when you couldn't even catch a white man beating up George Floyd. Like, dead ass. Shut the fuck up about you being predator catchers. Y'all can't even save Jean Carroll from getting raped from Donald J. Trump. Y'all couldn't save Jean Carroll. Y'all couldn't save fucking Alex Preddy when he got shot. I see none of that on y'all fucking pages. And God forgive me for cursing like a sailor, but I had to bring it out because I am angry, spiritually angry. And after this, I'm going to pray to God and I'm going to tell him to give me discernment. Because I'm not going to be here on earth for much longer. We are in the last second. Y'all need to wake up and realize and smell the roses, bro. This whole thing is a stage. The same script, the same outcome, the same virus. It's a script. It's a script. It's all a narrative. It's all a narrative for the Antichrist to come out and say, hey, y'all know Jesus Christ, the one that y'all serve, the one that y'all love so much. Well, see, y'all don't understand that y'all could be better. Y'all could be better than him, right? Like, y'all could be better as guys, like, y'all could change, like, no. Once the Antichrist says that you can be as gods, I better not see one of y'all even fall for the oldest trick in the freaking book. The oldest trick where Satan himself comes as a serpent and says, ooh, you should be as gods. Boy, man, imagine if I was Adam. And if he told me, oh, you could be as gods, I would have said, boy, I would have been like, boy, I wish you would tempt me to eat the fruit. Because, boy, ain't no way you making me eat from the fruit that is within the midst of the garden. God gave me one command, and I am following it. Shoot. But, hey, listen. That's how it would have went down for me, bro. That's how it would have went down for me. I'm just saying. But if I was Adam, I would not be eating that fruit. No, sir. I would keep it and wait until God comes back. And I would rather ask God for permission. Shoot. Y'all need to wake up, man. Like, I get it. Like, if they haven't eaten from the apple of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, then yeah, we wouldn't exist. But at the same time, I know he gave us free will. But like, sometimes you gotta fight the devil with knowledge. I remember one time, my mom, she told me that she saw a shadow in her room last night when she was sleeping. I mean, I think it was 2 nights ago. But she said that she saw a shadow in her room. And no, I'm not talking about Juice WRLD. I still see shadows in my room. No, I'm talking about real life. My mom actually saw that there were shadows in her room. She saw them. And then my mom tells me, oh, that sage keeps us from seeing shadows. I said to my mom, no, that's not it. Sage doesn't keep out demons. It gets them stronger. Just like crystals can't keep out demons. It gets them stronger. I'm a person of faith, y'all. And I know that the demons that be coming out in my mom's room, they never enter my room. My room has been blessed by Jesus Christ alone. Because only Jesus casted out demons. And they're afraid of that. They're afraid. They're afraid of Jesus. That's why not even a single demon comes to the room. Not a single one. Because they're afraid of Jesus. They're afraid of it. They're not afraid of crystals. They're not afraid of tarot cards. They're not afraid of your future. They're afraid of their future. Of their own future. Of how they're going to be stomped on the head. Just like how Jesus is going to stomp Satan on the head. That's why we're here, people. Like, come on, wake up. Wake up. Wake up to reality. As like Madara said, wake up to reality. Like first we got Matthew 24, verse 6 prophesied. Then we got Acts 2:20 prophesied with the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. This is why y'all need to wake up, bro. Like, talk about some. Oh, and speaking of politics, yeah, let's get right back into that. So how can y'all say that y'all are predator catchers when y'all can't even catch a white man beating up George Floyd? or catching Donald J. Trump raping Eugene Carroll or Katie Johnson. How can y'all say y'all are predator catchers? It took y'all that long to talk about the Epstein files? It took y'all that long to talk about some shit like that? To any of you predator catchers out there, bro, go and tell your daughters why you couldn't save Eugene Carroll when you yourself was a predator catcher, since you say that, oh, I've been doing predator catcher for like 40, 60, 70, 80 years. Go and tell your grandchildren why you couldn't save Eugene Carroll. Tell them. Tell them. Tell them why you couldn't save Eugene Carroll. Why you couldn't prevented one of the most notorious pedophiles to ever roam in existence. Like why you couldn't get the job done as a predator poacher, not a predator catcher. See, a predator catcher goes to the predator, has fucking screenshots and decoys and all this other shit, and doesn't get the job done. A predator poacher actually kills the pedophile on sight and gets the job done. You want to lower the cases of rape? Shoot the pedophile down. It's that simple. It's not that fucking hard. It's not that fucking hard, dog. You want to lower the cases of rape? Shoot the pedophile down. It is that simple. You want to lower the cost of gun violence? Remove the Second Amendment. It is that simple. Remove it. Remove the right to bear arms. That's simple. That's the solution. Remove the right to bear arms. Want to lower the cost of sepsis, which is women dying from healthcare? If you want to remove the cost of sepsis, actually give universal health care to pregnant women. Give universal child care to pregnant women. That's my solution. But no, y'all rather have the world burn on its feet than rather burn on its torso. Fucking wild, dog. And God forgive me for cursing, but I had to let it out. I had to let out my anger. Y'all people, look, I'm only going to say it, and I'm only going to say it once. Y'all are pathetic when y'all say y'all are predator catchers. I'd rather be a predator poacher. See, a predator poacher, back in the old days, the term predator poacher is used for people who shoot animals. See, I would have used that. But I would have shot people who prey on children. That's a predator poacher. I would shoot people that prey on children. It's that simple. Want to lower the cases of rape? Shoot the pedophile. It's not that hard. Want to lower the costs want to lower the damage due to gun violence? Remove the Second Amendment. And for y'all fake Christians out there, the Candace Owens and the Tammy Faye Bakers, y'all say that one coach, we are Charlie Kirk, we fight to, like, it's abhorrent. I'm sorry, but it is abhorrent. Like, I'm going to say it again. It is abhorrent. It is abnormal that y'all support Charlie Kirk, a racist podcaster who said that dead Americans were worth the cost of the Second Amendment. Did God write the Second Amendment? Show me proof that Jesus actually went down to earth 2,000 years ago and wrote the Second Amendment. Show me proof. Show me proof. No. Show me proof. I don't need y'all to tell me shit. Show me proof that Jesus actually went down to earth from heaven, came to America, came to the White House, came and met with George Washington, met with Benjamin Franklin, met with the House of Representatives, the Senate, and everyone else, and wrote himself the Second Amendment. Show me where. Show me proof. Where does it say in the Bible that Jesus wrote the Second Amendment? He didn't. Racist, white founding fathers wrote the Second Amendment. That's why we're here as a country. England, universal health care, taxing the rich people, student loan debt. Russia, removal of the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, no gun violence, no active shooter drills. That's actual freedom. That's actual patriotism. What we have in America is more guns than people. See, in England, they welcome immigrants from different countries. Why? Leviticus chapter 19, verse 33. In Russia, they have the guillotine used for pedophiles. Why? Mark chapter 9, verse 42. For whosoever defiles these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a great millstone was hung about his neck and he was casted into the sea. Russia has Mark chapter 9, verse 42. England has Leviticus chapter 19, verse 33. What do we have? What do Americans have? A piece of metal. Because they want to be an alpha male, right? They want to act like they're tough. They want to act like, once the child is born, I don't give a shit if it's shot in a school, because you don't. You don't give a shit about life. So shut the fuck up about you saying that you're pro-life. England and Russia and many other countries are even fucking more pro-life than you could ever imagine. They have universal health care. They have universal health care, universal child care. They have taxing the rich people. That's actual freedom. And if you don't like what I'm talking about, then you can ship your ass right back to England where you fucking belong. Because mind you, this was never our country. This was never our founding nation. This was founded by white supremacist founding fathers. It's that simple, people. As a matter of fact, I got something for y'all. Okay? Since y'all want to talk bad shit, right? Let me tell y'all what white supremacy is, okay? White supremacy is a systematic ideology and belief system based on the premise that white people are superior to those of other races and should therefore dominate society. While it is often associated with the actions of hate groups, sociologists and historians generally define it as a broader, more complex structure that functions on several levels. 1. Institutional and systemic. This refers to how social, legal, and economic systems can historically and currently favor white populations. This includes disparities in wealth, the historical accumulation of resources through systems like land grants or housing policies that exclude non-white groups. Justice, difference in sentencing and policing practices. Education, discrepancies in school funding and the representation of history in curricula. 2. Cultural and ideological. This involves the normalization of whiteness as the standard or default in society. Examples include beauty standards, promoting European features as the pinnacle attractiveness in media advertising, historical narratives, focusing primarily on Western achievements while downplaying or ignoring the contributions and histories of non-white citizens. Individual and overt. This is the most visible form involving explicit prejudice or violence. It includes white nationalist groups, organizations that openly advocate for white ethnicity or segregation of races, Jim Crow. Hate speech, using racial slurs or promoting pseudo-scientific theories like eugenics to justify claims of biological superiority. Here's historical context. The concept gained significant pseudo-scientific backing during the era of European colonization and the Atlantic slave trade. It was used as a moral and intellectual justification for the enslavement of African people and the displacement of indigenous populations, suggesting that colonization was a civilizing mission. In the United States, white supremacy was legally codified through systems like slavery, Jim Crow laws, and redlining, which mandated racial segregation and disenfranchisement. Although many of these laws were overturned during the civil rights movement, experts argued that the underlying structures continue to influence modern social outcomes. And there you have it, people. That's white supremacy. And if you don't like the facts, sorry, facts doesn't care about your feelings. This is why we're here, people. And Donald Trump, he overturned the fucking Civil Rights Act movement. Wow. Wow. This is you, MAGA. Oh, praise Jesus. He overturned the Civil Rights movement. Oh, what a great Christian nation. Oh, hallelujah. Oh, this is a Christian nation? When was it? During the Holocaust. Where was Jesus during the Holocaust? Where was Jesus during the Civil War, the Boston Tea Party, the Black Death? Where was he? Oh, that's right. Nowhere to be found. But suddenly, when 77 million people went to the fucking voting booth, they decided, hey, Jesus came down and saved Donald Trump's little ear. You know? Hey, look, everyone. Donald J. Trump just got saved by God. He saved his little pink ear. Oh, what a great God he is. Oh, what a great Christian nation. How? Because 77 million people went to the voting booth and said, hey, let me vote for an earthly king. And that's what you all voted for. Wake up and fucking smell the roses. The same people that voted for the adjudicated rapist in the White House is the same people that are going to vote for the Antichrist when he comes out. And when he comes out, he's going to switch the narrative to where Jesus was the serpent and Satan was the good guy. See, this is you, MAGA. You have a lot in common with Satan that you have with God. Both of you believe in him, yet neither one of you follow him. It's crazy, right? Wow, what a great Christian nation, right, guys? You know, we are Charlie Kirk. we carry his flame. We fight the gospel and honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk. Anyone who sings that supports that racist podcaster, by the way. I only sung it just to trigger people. And I love it when I do that because, you know, I'm built like that. I'm built for Ephesians 5:11. As a matter of fact, I'm going to reprise that very same song. We are Charlie Kirk. We support racism. We allow rape in our country, for we do not care. We support rape. And that's why we're here. And that's why this country will rather burn itself to the feet than rather burn itself to the torso. Because y'all don't want to get your lazy asses up and actually do a protest. See, I was watching the New York protest. And I was watching every other protest. 8 million fucking people out of 340 fucking Americans decided to get up out of their lazy asses and declare instead of proclamate. And 8 million people declarated instead of proclamated. Wow. That was a child's play level of a fucking protest. That wasn't no protest. That was a white supremacist participation trophy. Can't even talk today because of how angry I am. I'm smart. See, I'm smart because I actually went to the crossroads and actually voted for what Jesus stood for. Compassion, forgiveness, empathy, kindness, loving one another, forgiving one another, just as much as Christ forgiven us. And 77 million of y'all chose to hold a grudge against other people and say, you know, I didn't like Kamala Harris's laugh. You know, she slept her way to the top. You know? When it comes to universal health care, you don't give a shit. When it comes to universal child care, you don't give a shit. When it comes to taxing the rich people, you don't give a shit. But when it comes to rape, yeah! When it comes to suicides, yeah! When it comes to having guns instead of people, yeah! Because you care about a fucking gun than it is to care about a single neighbor. What does Leviticus chapter 19 verse 33 says? For the foreigner that lives among you must be treated as if they were one of your what? One of your own. Love thy neighbor as yourself. For you yourselves were born from the mist of Egypt. And that's why we're here. Proclamation has won against declaration. Because 77 million retards said yes to rape, yes to Jean Carroll getting raped, yes to Katie Johnson getting raped, yes to more deaths due to gun violence. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here as a country, people. So unless you all want to be left behind and follow the mark of the beast, or you can actually go outside, touch grass, and actually find Jesus. See, I'm a person of faith because I declare and do what Ephesians 5:11 says. Just like Paul Lance is doing, just like Schlepp is doing. Have nothing with the works of iniquity, but rather expose them. But MAGA just want the first part. Have nothing with the works of iniquity. Meaning, if someone dies, that is not their problem. Right, MAGA? When Katie Johnson got raped, that wasn't your problem. Right, MAGA? When Jean Carroll got raped, that wasn't your problem. Right, MAGA? When it came to 75,000 people that died due to gun violence, that wasn't your problem. Right, MAGA? And as a token of my hateful gratitude, allow me to play one song that insinuates your fucking personas. And it's the same persona that I'm going to be playing to trigger you people. Since y'all want to talk about some, ooh, I'm pro-life. Ooh, I believe in God. Ooh, I follow him. Ooh, this and this and this and that. I got the perfect song for y'all. Since y'all want to act like y'all are Christians, since y'all want to act like y'all are actually doing something, right? Since y'all want to act like, oh, you know, I've been predator catching for 20, 40, 30, 60 years. The very song that I'm about to play for y'all is the same song that I'm going to trigger in every video. Okay? So, when you go to the voting booth and when you vote, I want you to play this song in your fucking heads. No, matter of fact, I want you to play this song during the rally. Okay? Mind you, hold on. It's this song right here. After, you know, the YouTube advertisement. Because y'all act like y'all want to be the heroes of America, you know? So, again, I want y'all to play this song at the voting booth. I want y'all to play that song at the voting booth on November. If you don't care about life, play that song. Because that shows us who you truly are on the inside. And on the outside. When it came to Alex Preddy getting shot, when it came to Eugene Carroll getting raped, when it came to 75,000 people that died due to gun violence, that's what you said, MAGA. That's just not my problem. Because you don't care about life. You don't care about the things Jesus did for you. You care about what you want. So shut the fuck up about y'all being Christians, because y'all are not. Y'all are not Christians at all. Y'all not. Y'all not. Because if y'all were, y'all would have voted for Kamala Harris and y'all would have been bowing for repentance in front of Jesus Christ right about now. But you don't care about life. You're not pro-life. You never were. So when you go to the voting booth at November, when you white MAGA trash base and the Tammy Faye Bakers and the Erica Kirks and the Charlie Kirks, when y'all go to the voting booth, I want y'all to play this song out loud, just so that people could know who to stay away from. That's just not my problem. That's not my problem. That's what happened when 77 million people went to the voting booth. This was their song when it came to rape, when it came to tax fraud, when it came to insurrections, when it came to the death of 5 officers, when it came to the death of 4 of them that committed suicide because of their PTSD, when it came to Jesus versus Barabbas, they chose this song. Case fucking closed. MAGA does not care about morality and decency because it is not their problem. Oh, nothing to see here. Oh, doesn't affect me. Oh, Katie Johnson got raped by Donald J. Trump. Oh, I'm sorry. I needed money. Oh, that's just not my problem. Oh, I needed money for Donald J. Trump. I wanted no new wars. I wanted this. I wanted that because I'm pro-life. Yeah. Shut the fuck up about y'all being pro-life because y'all are not. And actually shut the fuck up about y'all being Christians, because y'all are not. Where were you when Alex Preddy got shot? Doing expose videos, right? When Katie Johnson got raped by Donald J. Trump, where were y'all in 2000? Oh, I don't know. I was making expose videos, right? Because you care more about content than you care about the platform, right? That's why we're here, people. Ephesians 5:11. Have nothing with the works of iniquity, but rather expose them. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing what God is calling me to do. Being strong and courageous and expose the darkness. So MAGA, when you go to the voting booth, and if there is a presidential election, play this song. And I want you to say that out loud. Oh, Katie Johnson got raped? Oh, that's just not my problem. I want you to say that. Okay? Right? Because it's never been your problem. But it has. Because your silence made Trump win the victory. Your silence made Trump win the election. And it's the same silence that got Jesus to die on that cross. And it's the same silence that got Alex Preddy, Renee Good, and Breonna Johnson, a black woman, shot and killed. And it's the same silence that allowed rape in our country. And it's the same silence that allowed Sweet Home Alabama in our country. So shut the fuck up about y'all being Christians, because y'all are not. Have yourselves the day you voted for. And again, I'm going to sing the very song. And I'm going to trigger a lot of MAGA, and I don't give a fuck because I'm built like that. So, with that being said, we are Charlie Kirk. We support racism. We allow rape in our country and racist slurs in our mouths. We are Charlie Kirk. Because y'all would rather have racism and bigotry and misogyny in your fucking country than rather have a black woman in the White House. Have the day you voted for.